Hi guys, and welcome back to the Turf Doctor YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be reviewing this Einhell Manual Lawnmower that I bought a couple of weeks ago. You will have seen me unbox this and also build it, which was actually relatively easy, and today I just want to show you actually using it. I've done the first cut video on the lawn using this as well, but this was more talking about the sort of the pros and cons of this particular machine. Now obviously I've taken the handles off, they're just behind me, just out of ease to put it on the side. They pop off relatively easy, but not, without just falling off themselves. You actually have to put a bit of force into it. But you can take them off for obviously storage reasons and then put them either separately or to one side. In terms of the mower itself, I was a little bit concerned when I first bought it. I did think, this is sort of cheapy metal, thinny plastic. And then actually I was quite surprised using it. It's pretty solid, pretty robust, and I think, to be honest, it's probably going to last me some years with my little 9 square, sort of 10 square meter lawn. A couple of gripes I've got that I really didn't like were the box, for example. I wish it had some way of holding it up without having to clip it onto the handles, which I'll show you in a second. That's slightly frustrating. So when you're emptying the box, it just means you have to unclip something, and it's a bit stiff to come off the front of the roller as well. So to be honest, my lawn at the moment, because it's mainly poor soils and sandy bases, I've just been cutting and dropping anyway. I've been cutting every sort of 2 to 3 days, so I've only been cutting maybe 5 mil of clippings off. I'm just letting them go back into the ground, and I'm just going to let them rot away. But in terms of the mower itself, like I say, it's actually pretty basic. Push it to go. I was quite surprised with the fact that both wheels do actually drive the blade. I've had a manual mower before and only one wheel drove the blade. So that meant when you went around the corner, the blade would stop if you turned with that wheel on the inside or went slower. Whereas this actually does move. So if I do this wheel, for example, you see the blade move. This wheel, the blade moves. So it's really good. So when you turn the corner, the blade's always moving, which I think is really important because you want that uniformity of the cut. The only other thing cut-wise that was a bit frustrating is thicker, longer grass. Obviously struggled, which was going to be expected, to be honest. But it did do pretty well. How long the longevity of the blade sharpness lasts is another thing, but reading all the reviews online, in the various independent websites, I'm pretty sure we can expect this to probably outlast the lawn. So I'll just spin it around as well. Just wanted to mention a few other things. The height adjusters, actually didn't really like them. That feels a little bit flimsy. There is probably 5 mil play in the roller, depending on what you're going over. So you just bear that in mind when you're putting any weight on the machine or you're going over any bumpy surfaces. There's a potential chance that you can be cutting at different heights there. The adjustments for the bottom blade, bringing it closer to the cylinder or further away. An interesting one because most machines actually nowadays take the cylinder to the bottom blade, whereas this takes the bottom blade to the cylinder. So you've obviously got more of an opportunity to cause uneven pressure in this scenario. The bottom blade, especially one like this, it's probably only 3-5 mil thick, has the possibility to warp and bend, especially under tension. So it's just something else to think about. So back onto the height adjusters, like I say, they just felt flimsy, and the fact that you can adjust one and have one side lower than the other, it sort of didn't really feel right. I sort of think they could have gone with a bar that went all the way across to sort of rigid it up and it'd just be one adjuster on one side. So all in all, I can't really complain. I have really enjoyed using it. I do wish I bought the bigger version, even though I only have a small lawn, just because you actually lose so much of the width of the machine just because of the width of the wheels, and the cylinder's not actually as big as it probably could be. You'd lose out on 10-20 mil on each side of the cylinder, which I find is a little bit frustrating. It's not really striped up so much at the moment. That's probably because it doesn't have much weight in it. I think all in all it comes to about 12 kilos. Pros and cons of that are that it's really easy to store, really easy to move around, and if you've got tight corners and you're sort of going back and forth, it's really good for that sort of thing. So yeah, I do recommend buying it. It's worth it if you've got a small lawn. If you have a bigger lawn, I'd buy the version with the bigger blade, and you probably have more area to turn around as well, so it might be a little bit better. But it doesn't cost any electric, obviously. Takes less than 5 minutes to do. But yeah, I'm quite happy with it. So please like, comment and subscribe. Let us know if you want some more mower reviews and what you sort of thought of this one. Is there pros and cons we might have missed? Are there things you'd like us to talk about?